Social media can be defined as a website that provides the opportunity for social interaction. This includes popular social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter, and media sharing sites such as YouTube. In today's society, utilizing social media is one of the most common activities amongst adolescents. These sites have come increasingly accepted as a resource included in learning and teaching in education. Social media empowers students with the increased chance for learning opportunities and educational engagement, as it can lead to greater interest, as well as allowing students to take responsibility for their learning. With social media becoming more prevalent within education, its impact on the performance of students must be investigated. Those who have a higher following online tend to be more popular in schools and have a higher status in regards to popularity, but due to socio-economic reasons, it is evident that some individuals may not be able to afford certain resources to access social media platforms, thus making them feel left out. It is evident that females spend more time on social media platforms, such as Facebook, while males spend more time on YouTube and on online video games. As females tend to use social media more during school hours and while studying, it is evident that it becomes a distraction, which can lead to low academic results, thus causing a reduced focus on learning, as well as making it harder to learn and retain new information. An individual's socio-economic status may impact on one's performance at school through social media, due to reasons such as not having the access to certain resources as well as being limited to having internet access. As schools try to incorporate social media into classroom learnings, due to its prominence and use by students, some students may be left at a disadvantage. If homework on an assignment involves watching a video on YouTube or is a media study, some students may not have the internet or resources to access it. Furthermore, Facebook study groups created to help benefit students may disadvantage some, as they may not have Facebook accounts to access these benefits. Social media has improved our ability to absorb information, which has increased over the past 20 years. This is evident within Facebook due to its constant and almost immediate exposure of news and information. Whilst YouTube has extensive access to videos of which helps students further their knowledge about certain issues. Thus, YouTube and Facebook provides access to information so that students can heighten their performance in schools, especially for those who may not be able to afford extra resources such as textbooks or tutoring to help with their education.
Did you know 59% of students who use social networking talk about education topics online? 50% of those who talk about education topics online talk specifically about schoolwork. 35% of schools have students and/or instructor-run blogs. 46% of schools have students participate in online pen pal and other international programs.
The growth of social media over the years has increased rapidly, influencing many young students' perception of society. This can also affect students' ability to perform well in schools, as social media can be a tool of distraction. Social media has become an essential part of everyday life, particularly for young generations. The most popular used social media networking site from students is often said to be Facebook. This is one of the most dominant social networking sites that often consumes students' time through interaction with friends. In a recent study of college students, 94% of students would spend an average of 10 to 30 minutes on Facebook and have around 200 to 300 friends. Similarly, in relation to high school students, 3 out of 10 students have admitted to using Facebook during class. The rates of Facebook usage demonstrates the decrease in students' focus during school. When students stay on task, they tend to perform better. Students' engagement in classrooms has significantly decreased with the risk of social media networking. With this, it can negatively impact students' achievements such as their GPA, grade point average results. Students who do have Facebook are found to only study 1 to 5 hours per week with a GPA of 3.0 to 3.5. On the contrary, non-Facebook users would often study 11 to 15 hours per week with an average GPA of 3.5 to 4.0. In Australia, Facebook has also dominated over students, showing that many students multitask through Facebook and study. This can often lead to distractions from learning and focusing. According to research, teachers are aware of the usage of social media by students. Almost 58% of teachers suggest that students rely on technology more than previous generations and can often lead to the inability to write. Many people on social media generally use slang or abbreviated words, which can impact a student's ability to spell correctly. All in all, it can be concluded that the levels of social media accessibility rely on the status of the student, as those with higher socioeconomic statuses will benefit most from social media due to it being easily obtainable and available. Furthermore, although social media is seen as an educational tool that can lead to a negative impact on grades, it is also apparent that social media is beneficial in education, as it allows for students to access information that is not as readily available.